News, either the intermediate advisory has come over from the National Hurricane Center just over the last 2 minutes. And yes, Michael is getting more intense and better organized. This could be definitely a Category 4 hurricane as it makes its way toward Panama City. The pressures have been dropping significantly. In fact, it's down to 953 millibars. That's a huge drop in just the last 3 hours. And whenever you have a drop like that, you're going to see an intensifying hurricane, and that's what we're seeing right now. It's going to continue on this northerly course. You can see the symmetry. It's much more organized now, and there's a lot more going on in terms of the center and the eye. Now, it could go through, again, what we call a secondary eye wall replacement before it reaches land. If it does that, then it may weaken a little bit before it hits. But for the time being, 4, not out of the question, making landfall into the panhandle of Florida. And it's going to be devastation as far as the storm surge goes. We could see a storm surge up to 12 to 14 feet high near the center and to the right of the center. In Tallahassee, could see 100-mile-an-hour winds sustained as it makes its way into that direction. Now, again, the pressure has dropped significantly. This was the last advisory, the one just updated, 953 millibars. That's a significant drop over the past several hours. And there's the forecast path and track. That hasn't changed. Looks like it'll go right into Panama City, although it could be a little bit to the left of that, or it could be a little bit to the right of that near Apalachicola. Wind gusts, I think this will be changing soon with the 11 o'clock advisory. Could be as high as 165 miles an hour. And then it makes its way right through Tallahassee or close to it. And that's the reason why I think they'll see up to 100-mile-an-hour winds there. Numerous areas will see power outages. This kind of storm with a Category 3, you're going to see extensive structural damage to some of the smaller buildings and mobile homes and so on and so forth. Numerous trees down, as well as extensive power line outages and power outages. And then it takes off toward the Carolinas now, which should be moving fast enough. It shouldn't be a big rainmaker, but it still will produce some pretty excessive rainfall for parts of the panhandle of Florida and to the right. We're talking up to 10 inches of rain in just a short period of time. We're still under a tropical storm watch here. We're not going to see any tropical storm force winds sustained for any long duration, but as these bands of showers move through, definitely 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds not out of the question, and I think that'll happen mainly late tonight and throughout the morning on Wednesday. Storm surge has been up to 2 feet high so far. It could get about that again at 1 o'clock in the morning. We expect another high tide, and then tomorrow afternoon when the winds will be blowing on shore at that point, that could be another significant time right there at 2:28, right around 2:30 for those tides. The tides have been running about 2 feet above average. Now we're in astronomically high tides as well, so we had, all intents and purposes, a 4-foot storm surge already in Anna Maria, causing some secondary roads to get some minor flooding there, not anything significant. But you'll see these winds, they'll switch around to the southwest, and that's when we'll start to see some piling on of the bigger waves, as well as some possibilities from coastal erosion. We had those bags put up there along Lido to protect some of the renourishment there, and that could be an issue tomorrow as we're expecting those winds to die down, though, by Thursday. So big deals going on with this storm. It continues to rapidly intensify in the Gulf of Mexico. Unfortunately for the panhandle of Florida, they're going to see some intense wind beginning tomorrow, especially just after sunrise. We've had flooding problems and some concerns. Some of the water washing over the roadways. I know I had some reports along Riverview Boulevard in Bradenton near, looks like a 59th Street boat ramp. They had some of the water washing over the roadway there. So driving not the best of things to do right now. And look at this line here moving through Fort Myers now, and that's heading in our general direction. I also want to get to a graphic real quickly and show you that we have 3 storms out there, 3 named storms. We have Leslie, has been around for over 14 days. We have a new Nadine, and now the National Hurricane Center is watching an area right here, which gives it a 30% chance of developing over the next 5 days in the Southwest Caribbean Sea. So a very active hurricane season, especially here in October. Here's the forecast, and an 80% chance for scattered showers and storms on Wednesday. Wednesday night, too, we'll still see some rainfall moving in from the Gulf. Thursday morning, a few showers and storms around, and then we deserve a good weekend, and we'll have that. Unfortunately, the panhandle will be still recovering. We'll have much more with Primetime Headlines with Alan right after this.